Reshma henna is a henna blend, so it's not 100% natural henna. I'll explain the differences later on in this video, and everything is timestamped below. I just don't want you to waste your time on this video. If you were looking for a single ingredient henna, this is not it. It's not a bad product, it just has chemicals and fillers inside of it. Natural henna is one single ingredient. Again, this is not. So if you have a sensitive scalp or allergies, you're not gonna wanna use this product. You can grab this at Sally's and Walmart, I think, and there's 5 different shades. In your kit, you'll have gloves, an instruction pamphlet, a mini color brush, and this is your henna blend. It'll be inside this packet. And this shade is red wine. Let me pour it on here so you can see, and it should be a green color. Most of them are a green tint, and it's a powder. It looks like matcha tea powder. Is it matcha tea? Matcha tea? I don't know, it's too fancy for me. In the natural highlights one, you're also going to get an oil packet that you're gonna add into the henna mixture. This is extremely simple to mix up. You just add water. Distilled water if you can, and you just gradually add the water. If you have a whisk, that will help a lot because this does get a little clumpy. This is a hair color whisk, but they have just little whisk at Dollar Tree. You don't have to measure this like you would traditional hair color, a 1-to-1 ratio, 1 part hair color, 1 part developer. You're just eyeballing it. The texture should be like Greek yogurt or even a cake batter, a thick consistency. Natural henna and even this henna blend, it does have a smell to it. To me, it smells like a tea shop. If you've ever been into a loose leaf tea shop where it's just walls of tea, it smells like that. I personally love it. So this is too thick, so we'll add some more water. Now, if you can't stand the smell, you can add essential oils to this, and same with regular henna. Some people mix it with coffee, mix it with tea, add lemon juice, apple cider vinegar, but that helps more with the saturation and the color. But if you do add coffee, it also helps with the smell if you don't like this earthy. I wouldn't even say it's earthy, because earthy to me is patchouli, which I hate. This is just, I don't know, it's good. I like it. It makes me feel relaxed. This should be applied on freshly clean hair or freshly shampooed hair. You can apply it on towel dried hair like you would most natural hennas, or you can apply this one on dry hair like I'm gonna do with these swatches. We're gonna swatch it on this today. This is 100% human hair, and all you do as far as the application is apply it just like you would hair color. The only thing with henna and henna blends like this is you can absolutely use a brush, and you should use a brush, but you really do wanna kind of get in there with your hands. Henna and this henna blend is gonna coat the hair cuticle. It doesn't react the same as hair color, how hair will soak up hair color once you put it on. This kind of layers on top in a way, almost like it's giving each hair strand a huge blanket or hug, and it actually makes your hair look thicker because it's coating the cuticle. You just have to be careful over time. If you compact henna hair color, it adds to the diameter of your hair, will weigh the hair down, and eventually can snap and break the hair. Whoops. And this brand says it's semi-permanent, but I've used it before and it lasts a long time. But that's all you do is just apply it, really get in there and take your time. And this brand is gonna process for 30 minutes. You can cover it with a cap or leave it out. I usually cover them with a cap, or if I'm doing real 100% henna, I'll add steam to it, but real henna takes hours to process. Some people will even leave it on for 24 hours. Before you use this brand, I would strongly suggest doing a patch test, which is taking a strand of hair right behind the ear and applying the color. You're not only looking for how does this color look, because it's not going to be exactly like the box. Henna hair color does not lift. It only deposits, so it can only go darker. So if you're using this one, the natural highlights, your hair needs to be already light. You can't put this on dark hair and expect this to lift. So henna and henna blends are deposit only going darker. So the shades are gonna vary depending on what your hair looks like right now. And sometimes if you use a really strong red henna, which henna is naturally orangey red, it may make your hair look lighter, but that's because it has such a strong tonality of red. So you're not only seeing what is this gonna look like on my hair before I make a huge commitment, you're seeing how your scalp skin is gonna interact with this particular product. This brand does contain what's called PPDs. Big long word, but we're just gonna say PPDs. A lot of hair color companies use them, but there's several that don't. Like Madison Reed is a good example of one that does not use PPDs or PPD. You'll find them mostly in darker shades of hair color. They just provide that really long lasting, rich color. It helps the color really stick and stay. You'll also find PPDs in temporary tattoos, dark colored cosmetics like black eyeshadow, and it's also in printer ink. So think of this as having 2 markers. You can have a washable marker or a permanent marker. And we take both the markers on a white shirt. The washable marker is gonna be easy to get out of the white shirt. Throw it in the wash and it comes out. The permanent marker isn't really gonna come out that that well. Hair colors that have the chemical inside of them are like a permanent marker. They really stick to the hair. That's great for long-lasting hair color, but the problem is they get into our skin. They are so tiny that not only is it doing its job with the hair color, coating the hair inside the hair, it also gets inside your skin, the largest organ. Your immune system sees that as a foreign attack or an invader, something that's not naturally supposed to be there. And for some people, but it's not everyone, you'll get itching, swelling, redness, allergic reactions, you'll get flaky scalp, sometimes even oozing where the hair color was touching, which if you're doing an all over hair color application, it is going directly on the root, which is touching the scalp, the skin. So what I'm trying to say is this company uses PPDs and a lot of companies, but real henna, 100% henna, is just leaves. And this is from the Lawsonia, I'm saying that wrong. I'll put the word here, plant. The leaves are picked, dried, and crushed until it forms this really fine powder like this hair color we're using. The powder then creates a natural orange-red dye molecule called lawsum. So to make it into a dye, you add warm water, coffee, tea, and apply it to the hair. So real henna is basically just one shade. Now the shade will vary depending on where the plant was grown. Sometimes it'll look darker, sometimes it'll look a little lighter, but how you're customizing real henna, 100% henna, let's say you wanted a black or darker color, you could add indigo powder. And real henna is actually really fascinating. You let it set for about 8 hours or up to 8 hours when you mix it together. So the original, adding the powder, the water, and it sets usually overnight. But you can use it after about an hour, but most people let it set for a long period of time, and it goes on clean, damp hair, and you'll apply it just like we did this hair color. And it's got a very similar texture, very similar smell. And with real henna, you leave it on the hair for a long time. I would say at least 3, on average 6. Some people do it overnight, wrap it in saran and do it overnight. It is not a quick process by any means. That's what makes this more appealing to people. This is 30 minutes. You don't have to wait overnight for the mixture to set. But henna has a lot of negatives also. One being the color can be unpredictable. Other than black, shades of henna look different on everyone. And henna is extremely hard as a hairdresser to remove from the hair. The best way to get it out is to cut it out. You wouldn't want to put highlights on someone who has been using henna, but it works great for covering gray. And for example, if you have had black hair for 10 years, chances are you're gonna continue to color your hair black. You could switch over to henna, but you don't want to go back and forth. Henna, professional color, or henna, or even Sally's color. It's either you're doing the chemical hair colors or you're doing henna. Another negative with real henna and even this brand, it can dry the hair out. Even my swatches feel a little bit dry. They look really shiny, but they do feel a little bit dry. You can add in an oil, coconut oil treatment, some sort of treatment after to correct that. And like I mentioned, compacting henna, so henna over henna over henna, will add to the diameter of the hair. So make the hair appear thicker, which if you have hair like mine, that's nice, but you don't want to do it too much because then you get breakage. Also, compacting henna makes it look darker, so you just do root touch-ups and then do an end refresh in between. Because it's coating the hair shaft, it also can loosen the curl pattern, which can be a good or bad thing depending on how you look at it. Now let's look at our swatches. We'll start with this one, the natural black, and it's a beautiful, just flat black. It doesn't have a tint of red or a tint of blue, it's a velvet black. It's really, really pretty. But if you're someone who likes dimension to their hair or it to look a different color in the light, you may not like this because it again is very flat, almost like a satin or matte black. And I've actually only used this black one before, so the rest of these, this is the first time I've seen these colors. This one is the natural highlights. A little disappointing, it's giving green, murky, and it could be our starting color, but this was virgin hair. Normally henna or henna-based products will give more of a red tone versus green, so that is a little bit confusing. It does look very dull. And even though these are highlights, remember henna is not going to lift hair color and it's not going to even lift virgin color. So if your hair looks like this and you apply this, it will do nothing. It needs to be lighter than this for you to see any sort of difference, but this will cover gray. This is the natural red wine. It has those deep red tones. It's a darker shade. It's one of those colors that looks brown, and when you go out in the sun, it has a red cast to it. Natural burgundy. This one's pretty dark, but does have a Merlot look to it, purple. The natural dark brown is a very neutral or muted brown, kind of like the N series and normal hair color. There is no tonality to it. Like the others, it doesn't offer any reds, purples, blues. It's just flat brown. Not a bad thing, but if you have fine thinner hair, this will make it look just very muted or flat. Here they are all together, and I forgot to mention how you shampoo or take care of this. So you do not shampoo henna or this henna blend out. You rinse it really well, and then you apply conditioner. And you want to wait about 48 hours before doing any sort of shampoo. You want to really let the color set.